Uh. Hear you. Like it. That's a heck of a frog bite right there. Look at that. Look at that toad. Uh-huh. Might choke. Look at him. Oh my God. It's the biggest fish I've caught all week. Holy cow. Holy crap. That's a dang stud right there. You get a box all by yourself. Yes. Dang good out there. Fatty. What's up, guys? Dave Williams here. Gonna do a little recap from Lake Murray, the MLF Pro Tour event we had over there. Ended up finishing 5th place. Had a really good event. Had a terrible practice, but a really good event. That's the way I like it. But anyway, I'm gonna give you a little recap of how we done it that last week, and ended up catching most of my fish, probably 70% of my fish, on just a 1/2 ounce spinnerbait. I love throwing a spinnerbait. We built our own, just a 1/2 ounce with a, just a shad color skirt, white with a little chartreuse on it. Zoom split tail trailer, and ended up catching a lot of fish doing that. But kind of walk you through my week. Day one, like I say, I had a terrible practice. I didn't really know where I wanted to go because I'd never caught anything over 2.5 pounds during practice. So I took off. I was going to run up the river to an area I had. When I rounded the corner, I looked over on the left. I seen 4 of those big herons standing on the bank. And when I seen those herons standing on the bank, I pulled over there and I said, well, I'm gonna give that bank a shot. And I pulled over there, and I ended up catching about 17 and some change on that bank within about an hour and a half. Shad were stacked up spawning on it, and but I caught one like almost 6 pounds. Caught a couple more in the in the 4-pound class, but it was a really good start to my tournament. But I was throwing that spinnerbait on the Cashin 8437, 15-pound high seas monofilament on the Johnny Moore Signature Series reel. Day one I done most of my damage early, so that actually allowed me to go fish where I'd actually practiced at on day 2, and I went to some of those areas on day 2. Well, I went back and started on the bank where I caught the big bag off day 1. They weren't there. I caught 1 fish off of it. Day 2, I ran up the river. I hit a couple places up there where I'd had some bites. Caught a decent bag pretty quick up there. Didn't have no real big ones on day 2. I had some maybe 3.5 pounds. And kind of after the shad spawn died off, I went and picked up a frog and just got in the shallow stuff, in the grass and wood, anything real shallow. I think there was a lot of fry garters and stuff, some bedding fish, but I just picked up a little popping frog, threw it on 50-pound high seas braid, and I actually threw it on the Icon 7-foot 3-inch. That's the worm and jig rod. It worked great on the frog for me, but I was able to get a couple really nice bites on the frog this week. That's a lot of fun. So that was day 2. Day 3, I had another area back in the creek where I'd caught a few fish. Same deal. I went back in there, and they were stacked up on the shad spawning back there on day 3, and same deal. Done it on the half-ounce spinnerbait. Pretty much all my fish came on that, and I did catch. I had a lot of fish that was short strike, and I could sometimes on those shad spawn fish I would throw this jerk bait back in there, and this is just the Duo Realis. That's the 100 suspending jerk bait. A little blueback herring color, just like a chrome and blue, and I about wore the paint off of it. But I caught several nice fish on that on day 3 and 4, and that was pretty much how I done most of it this week. That's day 3 and 4 were pretty similar. Fished a lot of the same areas, and ended up steadily moving up a little bit each day. Ended up finishing 5th. And actually, I'll tell you that I threw that jerk bait on the cranking rod. That's the C8457, and that's a light enough rod where you can let them get a hold of the bait good. But and I threw that on 12-pound high seas fluorocarbon, excuse me. And but anyway, that's pretty much how we done it. And but it was a pretty cool deal. I had one cool thing happen, that the last day, I never did fish that bank where I'd caught the 17 pounds on the first day. I never fished it on the last day. And I thought at the last minute, I said, I'm gonna run out there and hit it right before I go in. And I went out there, and shad were back all over that bank. And I fired my spinnerbait up there, and my last cast, I caught my biggest fish on day 4, which is it's probably like a 4, and but that really made a big difference, and that moved me up enough to finish in the top 5, and qualified me to fish the MLF event on Lake Chickamauga, and that's like the first week of June. So I'm pretty excited about that. I love Lake Chickamauga, and looking forward to that event. But that's it, and appreciate y'all watching. Thank you.